Hi, myself I'm Josing. I'm from GB4 as well. Here I'm gonna present you guys with the some labor conditions, some hazards that labor facing in Bangladesh. Let me give you some general introduction. As we all know, all the clothes we are wearing now they are produced in Bangladesh. We can see in the remarks, we can see the tag on the shirts that there is written over there the shirt is produced in Bangladesh. Almost all brands are producing their clothes in Bangladesh and they are selling their clothes under their names in the different parts of the country. But the topic here we're gonna talk about is the poor conditions of labor in the Bangladesh. As we all know, the Bangladesh is a developing country, as all Asian countries are struggling with their development. Bangladesh is also a country who is struggling with the development of their country. They are the main export. The 80% of the export is the clothes they are producing. The 80% they this is all there is the main export they are exporting to the other countries. As we saw in the video, as we saw in the video, there was a lady who went to the factories, different factories. She saw that there was also a child labor working in the factories. Also there was some young people who was working in there's with the hazardous material which can hurt their body with very badly, but they are working without all the safety vests. They were not provided with the safety vest. Also, there was no fire extinguishers in the four-story buildings. There was a factory who was four-story, but it doesn't have any fire extinguisher. Also, the almost in all factories the fire exit was blocked. There was incidents of a factory in Bangladesh. There was which killed 100 people because of the no proper fire exit. The 100 people were killed in the factory. Almost the 4,000 factories there is a 4,000 factories in Bangladesh who is almost employing 4 million people in that factories. There are almost 4 million people are working in the factories. Also, almost like all the people there are, I think so there is a no proper education system was in the Bangladesh. There are almost even children were working in there, even all the old people are working in there. So there should be some rules and regulations in Bangladesh so that the upcoming generations can head up their had make their life standard good as compared to their parents, because their parents are working in the factories from long time and they also gonna work in the factories. If they would be provided with a good education, they can live the better life as their parents live. There's some why let me give you like just an overview why it's important to consider this problem as a major problem in Bangladesh, because the future generation is the future of a country. The upcoming generation will they are presenters of their countries. If the Bangladesh youth is gonna work in the factories, so how they gonna develop themselves? Because as I said, all Asian countries are developing. If the future generation is already assigned in the factories, they are working from the birth on the early age in the factories, how the country can develop. So almost 80% of the government export is from the factories. So that's not mean that the government should uh, force all the students, all the childs, even elders, even youngest, all to the factories. So there should be some rules so that they can live the better life in Bangladesh. There's a tragedy. I'm gonna let you know that the Rana Plaza tragedy, which is very big tragedy, in which the 1,100 people were killed because of the abusive and the poor conditions in the factories. So there are some organizations which are responsible. Bangladesh government is also responsible for the conditions in labor conditions in Bangladesh. US government is also responsible because they are the United States. They are the all they are head of the all countries. European governments, Bangladesh supplier factory owners and managers are also responsible. Owners are also responsible. Trade associations, Bangladesh garment workers and their unions and advocates. Bangladesh government and legislative agencies. Bangladesh government is the one who is responsible for the best labor conditions in the country. If the government like from the birth, if the government will provide the good education to their children, they can work better, they can work good, and they can work on higher levels of the country, because as I said, 80% of the exports are of garment exports are from the garments. So that's not mean that the all labor gonna be all younger generation gonna be being a labor in the factories. So there should be a good education so that they can work somewhere else better else there, so they can earn more and more. Bangladesh government should have some rights to the employees. So there, if the people are working in the factory, so there should be some rules, there should be regulations, there should be more safety vests, there should be more safety regulations in the factory so that the labor conditions can be poor. That's as a lady explained in his video, in his survey, that there was a baby room in a factory where was no even toys, no water, no fire as there was no anything for babies. So there should be something for babies so that they can spend, there should be a place where the babies can play, you know. So there should be something for the babies too. NGOs are the as we all know, the organizations NGOs are the also responsible for the humanity, because the NGOs are the only person who are working for humanity all the times. They are working for humanity. So there should be NGOs. There should be NGOs who should go to all the factories. They should see how the factories are working, so that they can get to know what is good and what is bad. So that they can deduct the bad things and convert them into good things. They can make the life better, labor life better in the country. So the NGOs are also responsible. It is a stakeholder who is responsible for the good life conditions. International Labour Organization. International Labour Organization is an organization who is working for the whole over the world for a labor condition. They can make the new rules for the laborers. They can provide the more facilities to the labor. As the many people are working in the factories, there should be some regulation. There should be some there should be a big reasonable wages. First of all, they should have reasonable wages. They should be provided with the insurance. They should be provided with the insurance. Like if they would there would be a tragedy in a factory, they can get the money the children are going to get the money. There should be a rule for children that the worker who died in the factory, his children gonna be the government gonna give the money to the family so that they can study. They can let them children study for the next time, so they can make the life better of their life. In the conclusion, I want to say there are many organizations who are responsible for the better life of children's people and who are living in Bangladesh. So all the organizations should work together so that there should be a proper rules and regulation for the as we can saw that from the last 3 years they are working on it. The labor conditions are better than later, but the labor conditions are improving, but they should work more on it so that the labor conditions should be good. And the all new generation gonna be studying in the schools. There should be schools, government schools, private schools, anything, colleges, proper school for proper time for labor, proper time for in the old age there should be pension to provide to the labor. So all in all, there is the labor conditions are improving from last years, but they should work more and more on this one so that they can improve the labor conditions. Also, they can work more on it because the labor is only as we all know, the labor is the main hub of Bangladesh. They are developing with the labor because they are exporting all the garments to the other countries. So even the brands and even the organizations should show how their clothes are producing in the factory, so that they can work in over, they all gonna get to know how the labor is working in the factory, so that they can all cooperate with each other. The managers and owners of the factories, they should they should try to improve the conditions of the labor in the factories, so that the country gonna develop themselves. So all in all, thank you to listen me. If you have any queries and questions, please ask me or text me on any time onto my personal number, or talk to me. And thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Thank you.